Gonzo reporting live from the Amazon. Not really, of course. I'm in my hotel room. Well, you know it's my hotel room, don't you? Let's be fair. No one has got a bedroom quite like this. And I prepared myself. Got me pot noodle for later, for when the game's on. I'm going to be watching the game in my room. So I'm at Pinfest. Some people thought I said Pimpfest. It's a different festival altogether. Very, very different. Pinfest is for pinball machines. Got me Monster Munch. None of these are sponsoring us, by the way. And me plums. You like me plums? Plums from my tree at home, you see? I've got all the food groups represented there. Anyway. Tough game today. Tough game. I'm certainly be lying if I said anything different. I'm looking forward to playing pinball today. I'm dreading the game later on. And I'll be in here watching it. I'm going to do the build-up show with Gio. And we're going to do a review on this channel afterwards. I'm finding it hard to really find anything to get enthused about with this game. I think it feels like we're just playing Chelsea at the wrong time. Well, on the wrong season in many respects. Their peckers are up. They're World Club Cup champions or whatever it's called. We're on a downer. I think you've got the whole story of Graham Potter going back to his former club. And I've just done the breakfast show on Patreon with Gio. So if you want to go and watch that and you're not a patron, take advantage of the 7-day trial. Links in the description below. Patreon.com/HammersChat. And Gio was saying he's recorded a video today. I've not seen the video, but he alluded to the fact he's spoken about Graham Potter, which is really what I wanted to talk about as well, because it was car crash stuff, really. I've always been fascinated by managers when they've had enough. When if you've been watching the channel a long time, I've said it a lot of times about a lot of managers. I remember Kenny Dalglish going back to Liverpool for the second time, and he just very quickly was never going to be able to replicate his time as manager. The first time at Liverpool or as a player, you could just see he wanted. It's a tough thing to watch. You just think get this guy out of there. And a lot of times these managers, people when they're under pressure, start speaking in riddles. If you remember, Eric Cantona spoke about the seagulls following the trawler and stuff like that. What he was saying was the seagulls follow the trawler because they know that fish are going to be thrown overboard. He was talking about the press. He was saying, you lot are just here. Basically, you're the seagulls and I'm the trawler. And it was all very cryptic. And of course, you get to Nigel Pearson at Leicester City, who started talking about ostriches sticking their heads in the sand. And he started sort of trying to stare out the journalists. Are you an ostrich? Are you an ostrich? I think, mate, you just need to get out of here. You've had enough. You've absolutely had enough. And to be fair, sometimes we get it wrong. I thought it with Ange Postecoglou last season. In the end, it's a good job he stayed on because he won a trophy. Didn't help him keep his job, of course, but he won the trophy. But I thought, you're not enjoying this. He basically had a victim he had a persecution complex. I'm seeing this in Graham Potter, is my long elongated point. Nothing new. I started to see it last season. But people are talking about it after one game. This is after just one game. Well, of course, it depends where you draw that line. If you're going to draw the line at the end of the season, which is the natural place where you would draw a line and say, well, this is a fresh start. But it's no more different to a New Year's resolution. Just because it's the 1st of January doesn't mean everything changes. And I just think, actually, it's not his first game. It's his 21st game or whatever it might be. And there's no way that you can look at Graham Potter and not factor in the previous 20 games. And they've been bad. And a large part of it, really, really bad. And he went into that press conference yesterday, and it was very bizarre. And much like Cantona talking about sardines and trawlers and seagulls, or Graham Potter talking about ostriches, he didn't go with an animal one. He went with a silver bullet. The silver bullet, as I was just discussing it with Gio, I always understood the silver bullet to mean that's the way you kill a werewolf, right? But it's very cryptic. The only thing that can kill a werewolf is a silver bullet. So, first of all, he starts making this analogy. He's saying, we need a silver bullet. And you think, well, I'm not quite sure how this analogy's working. I'm not sure. Are we the werewolf? Is the press the werewolf? I wasn't sure who the werewolf was. I wasn't sure what the silver bullet was. And another person who clearly wasn't sure what the silver bullet was I think it was Ian Abraham, the Moose for TalkSport. And I think he said something like, okay, so he wasn't sure. He was almost asking, is the silver bullet a new signing coming in? Or is the silver bullet somebody from within the club that can come and help us out? Because before that, Potter had started saying, it's no good spending, I wish we had 200 million, we can't So he was almost saying we have to find solutions from within the club. So I think Ian Abraham was basically saying, is the silver bullet a signing, or is the silver bullet maybe someone from the academy or something like that? I think that's what he was saying. This is the problem when you're going to start speaking cryptically. No one really knows what they're talking about. And Potter sighed, I think took a sip of his drink and went, well, there's no silver bullet, is there? That's what I'm saying. Well, we don't know what you're saying because you're speaking in riddles, mate. It was a weird thing to watch, and it just was a man under pressure. And if he's carrying that demeanour in and around the players, then this is not particularly good. I'm really worried about today. I feel that if we go a goal behind, I just can't see a way for us to come back. I cannot see a way for us to come back if we go for a goal behind. We've discussed. You almost feel you've got to put the caveat in there, otherwise someone's going to say, well, it's not all Potter's fault, he should have been supported. We've covered that. I've done hours of that stuff, even just the last 2 weeks. I can't believe that West Ham, as a club, feel that we can throw these games. That's what I feel we've done. Throw these games, Chelsea, Sunderland, by not having a full squad, a functional engine room, any of that stuff. That being said, I just still think he's got what he's got. There are numerous managers who have gone into clubs and maybe they don't quite have their players, yet they operate with a sense of pragmatism, or they're able to get a tune out of what they got. I don't think Potter's been able to do that. I've not seen anything from Potter to suggest that. I think since he came in, he made Lucas Paqueta better. I can't honestly say anyone else. Maybe you might make a case of Wan-Bissaka, but I thought Wan-Bissaka was good under Lopetegui as well. I think majority I don't see, as they say he's a coach's coach. He makes players better. I've not seen it. I've not seen it. I think Jared Bowen's playing worse. I think the defenders are worse. Honestly, I don't see it. Maybe Cresswell. You could say Cresswell played better under him, but I think in the main, I'm not looking at it. So my point is, if he's not going to be able to bring in the signings, and he can't bring in the signings, I mean, given the signings, can he get the best out of what's there? I think the answer is no. I'm really worried about it. I'm really worried about West Ham, worried about this game. There's a few people saying, hopefully we'll win. Well, obviously everyone hopes we'll win, but they think we'll win because it's the sort of thing that West Ham do. It would be the West Ham way, wouldn't it, to lose against Sunderland and to beat Chelsea? Absolutely. But I don't know. When we've done that stuff in the past, we've always had like a plucky spirit, really. And I'm not really feeling it. I'm really not. I wouldn't be surprised, actually. The closer it gets towards the game, the more I'm thinking, actually, I wonder if he's going to pick Souček. I wonder. It's the sort of game that you probably would and you probably should, because it's not going to be a pretty game, and you need someone. We're really lacking leaders. There's no grit. There's no grit in that team. I think Fulkrug's got a bit. Don't get me wrong. I think Alvarez had a bit, but obviously, he's not factored in anymore, is he? Not seeing load of loud people. People who are able to dominate with their personality. Always like at least one of those in the back line as well. None of them are like that. They all seem Kilman, Todibo, Agurd. They're not shouters, not ranters and ravers. There's not someone who's up for the battle. There's not a, you know what I mean, like a grisly central defender. But we need one of those. But we need a bit of a shouter and a screamer in midfield as well, and just someone with a bit of personality, as well as all the technical things that we're missing, like the athleticism and the ability to be creative in midfield. We've got a massive lack of creativity in midfield. My goodness, it's a depressing video. But I am worried about today. I am worried, and I want to see a glimmer of hope. I really, really do. I was on the road all yesterday, so I didn't, and I've not really not had my finger on the pulse apart from watching really the Graham Potter press conference. So I don't know at this point. Going to find out later on today, and if we're any closer to signing players. I'm guessing not, because someone would have texted me the good news. So yeah, pretty bad stuff really. Not looking forward to tonight at all. I think it's going to be back to the wall. I think it's going to be. We're going to probably play quite deep. I don't think we've got an awful lot of choice really, considering how good Chelsea are. He's going to want it. You always hope this. He's going to want to prove a point to Chelsea. It won't prove a point to Chelsea. Even if we beat Chelsea, Chelsea aren't going to think, oh, damn it, I wish we'd have kept Graham Potter. But he'll feel like he's made a point, and that would be good because I think he needs, as a man that needs mojo, his mojo lifting, because I think that's really the point. Who does that? Yeah, I don't want to say too much more. Really, well, number one, I want to go and try and do the qualifying for the pinball, the qualifying rounds today. So I want to do that, but also, you know, anything that's coming out my mouth at the moment is pretty much negative. To be fair, looking at this, anything that's going in my mouth's pretty much negative. It's not, apart from the plums, lovely plums. Anyway, you didn't tune in to have a look at my plums, did you? Let's be honest.